today's webinar is about Eyetuitive for iPadOS. So this is the brand new eye tracker that we're now selling. So we've got a lot to get through today. So first of all, I'd just like to explain and show you exactly what we're going to be looking at today, give you the agenda. First of all, we're going to be just a brief introduction of who we are, who I am, who we are as a company, and what we provide. We're going to be looking at what's new about this eye tracker. So what's the difference? What's so different about this eye tracker to other eye trackers you may already own or have experienced? What's included? That will show you exactly included in the package, the types of accessories that you get in there to help you set up and get you up and running. And talking about setup, that's what we're going to be looking at next. So we'll give you a good demonstration of not only how to physically set up the product, but also how to set up the app, the software, to get you using eye tracking. And after that, we've got a good range of apps that I'm going to demonstrate, or give you a video demonstration of, in a way to show you exactly how it works and what you can use it with, give you a good idea, good flavor of it, what you can do with it. Then we're going to go on to the case studies. So this is going to be a really interesting one for a lot of you, I know, because this will show this being used in a school. So we've got 3 pupils that I met recently and got footage of using the Eyetuitive. So that'll be really useful and beneficial for a lot of you to see that. And then finally, we'll finish up just with an overview of the product, just a refresher of what's included, and then finish on with the Q&A. This whole session is going to be recorded also. So if you did want to go back and review any of the points, you will get a video recording. So we're all covered. There's no need to ask any questions during the session. Save all those till the end, and we'll get around to them. Okay, so first of all, number one, let's look at the first an introduction. So what we do and who we are. So yeah, I'm Ian from Inclusive Technology. So as a company, we've been around for over 20 years now, based in the UK. We sell assistive technology, hardware and software. And a few examples right there on the screen, the type of things that we sell, anything ranging from switches, communication devices, switch adapted toys, interfaces, you name it, we probably stock it. And just an example of that and the kind of benefits and the kind of products that we sell, offer to our users, I've just put together a quick compilation video of our users in action, accessing these types of products. I'll show you now.
Clever boy!
Yay! Come on.
Okay, so a few examples there of some of our star pupils using different types of products that we sell. Like I said, ranging from switches, virtual reality you saw there, and eye gaze as well. So this is what we're going to be concentrating on today: eye gaze and Eyetuitive. So in terms of Eyetuitive, there are three main points that really separate it from a lot of different eye trackers that are already on the market, and these are what they are. So first of all, it's an AI-powered eye tracking. So just a bit more detail on that. So it uses neural networks to detect the face and eyes of a user, which is a method of AI, artificial intelligence. It teaches the computer to process data in a way that is inspired by the human brain. What that means is that it will work in a lot of different settings. It can also work when you have your eyes closed or wearing glasses. I know in the past, wearing glasses has always been a sticking point when using eye tracking technology. Um, in addition to that, Eyetuitive also has a built-in chip for accelerated processing of neural networks, the so-called NPU. So in addition to the AI-powered eye tracking, the second point there is that Eyetuitive is compatible with not only iPad but Windows as well. Now, for iPad, as if you already know, iPad uses its own assistive touch control feature when using eye gaze. On Windows, Windows itself does have its own eye control mode when using eye trackers, and that's what Eyetuitive uses. So it's natively supported in Windows 10 and 11. Now, for the final thing is to mention about what's new is Eyetuitive is MFI certified. So, what is MFI certified? I hear you say. Well, luckily enough, I've got a slide just to tell you exactly what it is. So, MFI means made for iPad. So, it's been approved by Apple. So, every step of the design process of this eye tracker has been approved by Apple. Why is that of benefit? Well, a few things really. I mean, number one, it's future proof. So if there are any changes to the iOS, I know that's always a concern with some of our customers. What happens, 3, 4 years down the line? Well, that's okay for Eyetuitive. It will always be supported because it's got that MFI. Also, in addition to that, there is a simpler setup for this eye tracker when using it on an iPad. Previously, when using eye trackers on an iPad, you need to adjust certain settings in the accessibility menu and assistive touch in order for the eye tracker to work. This isn't the case for Eyetuitive. All those settings will be set automatically. The only thing you really need to set in there is the dwell time, which is completely up to you whether you choose to use dwell on or off and set the time. The other thing on there as well is snap to item. And snap to item is a form of control you might not be aware of, but we've got a slide that will show you exactly what it's about. So on this slide, you can see snap to item is a form of control that you can enable in iOS. So what snap to item does basically, it allows the user greater control of the eye tracker. It gives them more of a smoother, controlled eye tracking experience. Basically, it will almost lock onto cells or objects that you're looking at on screen. So certainly it's a form of control that's of benefit when looking at smaller characters on screen, such as maybe a keyboard, or certainly when using more cell-based apps such as communication apps. So we've got a video that follows now, just showing the difference between having snap to item disabled first, as you can see now. So I'm moving around the screen. You can see I can select things, but it's very free roaming. It's like I've plugged in a mouse. It's not locking onto things. But if I go into the assistive touch menu now and I go into devices, you can see because it's MFI certified, Eyetuitive is referenced in the menu. So I can turn snap to item on. You can see straight away as I'm looking on the assistive touch menu, it's locking onto the certain things that it recognizes, same as on the going through the apps there. So it makes it a bit easier for the eye gaze you to select things basically. As you can see, I'm going onto just the directional and moving across screens. As you can see, that was an example where it reverted back to the mouse cursor, but then going back to the cells, it will automatically go onto the snap to item mode. So that's what snap to item was about. For all of you that don't not come across that one before. Next, what I want to just explain is what's included in the package, because not only do you get the Eyetuitive eye tracker, but you also get different types of accessories that will allow you to put the iPad into and mount it, etc. So I've got made an unboxing video just to show you that, because there's actually two different packages that's included. First one is the mounting kit that you can see here. So within the mounting kit, first of all, you get a case, put the iPad in, and it has to be an iPad 12.9-inch iPad Pro, by the way, at least the third generation. There's the user manual, the mounting bracket, and also a power connector to charge the iPad whilst it runs. There's also an accessories box there, which includes all the cable connectors. We'll be showing how these connect later on in the setup section, but also, as you can see, the variety of different plugs for different territories. We also get a Visa mounting plate and the necessary tools to connect these together. Now in the Eyetuitive box itself, obviously you get the eye tracker, also with the a user manual to go with that, just to detail how to set up on iOS and Windows. We get a longer connector cable for the Windows-based computer you're going to be using, and also a USB adapter. Now that's quite important because the USB cable is USB-C. So if the device you were using for Windows wasn't USB-C, you get the adapter there just to convert it to a regular USB size there. So that's what's included in the package. Next of all, I want to go into the setup. So setup will take in two parts. So first of all, the physical setup, so putting the hardware together, and then we'll be looking at the app and how to position, calibrate, etc. So first of all, let's look at the hardware and setup. So we got the iPad case, like I said, a 12.9-inch iPad into the case, just clips in like that. And you slide in the case to the mounting bracket. As you can see, the eye tracker has already been screwed onto the mounting bracket. Now this is an example of attaching it to a rear adapt table stand, and we're connecting the power block to the iPad there, and also connecting the eye tracker to the power block there. So that's pretty much it. So you can see it's a very simple setup, and as I told you, it is fully compatible with rear adapt, so you can connect it to something like that straight away, or you may want to connect it to a rear adapt floor stand if you want something with a bit more height, or something a bit more made for a wheelchair would be this clamp-based mounting solution. You can see the clamp on the bottom there, so you can attach it to a wheelchair or desktop, and that's supplied in a 3 tube solution, because you need the depth, of course. You can't have it so close. You need a depth of at least 50 centimeters between the user and the device in order for it to work. So that's the setup of the device there. As I mentioned, setup is in two parts. So next one to look at is the Eyetuitive app. So Eyetuitive app is a free download from the App Store. So this will get you up and running with the positioning calibration aspect. So let's look at the video now to show you what else is available in the app when you be setting this up. Okay, so first of all, let's open up the app here. You can see the first window there is the positioning window. So you can see the two white dots on screen where my head is, where my eyes are. You can see the orange circle. That's actually where I'm looking. Now, at the top of the screen there, you can see that bar that's flashing red and green. I'm actually moving in and out of the screen there as I was doing this, just to indicate what happens as I move closer and far away from the screen. So you can see it's showing the distance. So a good distance, as I mentioned before, would be about 50 to 70 centimeters to the screen. So as long as you've got that in a good central position, you're in a good position. So looking into the settings, there's a few different things available in here. So we can see kind of eye tracking. We can calibrate both eyes, left eye or right eye, if you so wish. The filtering, you'd usually just set to low, or if you were encountering any jumps or movements, set that to medium or heavy. Now underneath we have the calibration settings, so we can turn the animation on and off. So the calibration point of the stimuli will move occasionally just to get the user's attention. We have the quick calibration point settings. We can choose between 1 or 5. For an early eye gaze use, you want to choose 1. Sounds we can have on or off just to get the user's attention. And also the target, we can choose between a point, a cat, or a bird. So a lot of users like some kind of animated character on there. So that's also available. Also in the Eyetuitive app, we have the update section there. So if there was any firmware updates, you just click on there to apply them. Make sure, of course, the device is connected to the internet. And then finally, the calibration itself, which you can access on the left-hand side there. Now, the left-hand side calibration will just give you the amount of points you've chosen previously. So whether it was the 5 points, you can easily access this again. Or if you choose on the right-hand side between the quick calibration or accurate calibration, quick will be 1 or 5, as we saw in the settings, or accurate will be 9. So this is a quick calibration, a 5-point calibration. I'm showing you now with the animated bird. So you can see it's giving that sound effect there to use attention. Now you can see on the green and oranges, it was okay. It was there's some 70s, 60s% calibration result. Now I quickly just readjusted my position just to show you the difference now on going through the same 5-point calibration, just to show what the difference would be. So final point there. And you can see the 98, 100%. So a much better result just by slightly moving my position. You can see how that would work. So that was the setup of the hardware. You can see now I can use eye tracking to move, use Snap to highlight the apps on screen, and then lastly to select, of course. Okay, so that was the setup on the app. Now, what I thought would be a great idea would give you a good flavor of what this can actually access is just to show you a different range of apps, because a lot of people think with eye trackers you have to use certain apps. That's not the case at all. I mean, it will practically you can operate any apps really, ranging from just use a web browser to communication to game space. So I've created a video here just showing you a selection of these now. So first of all, something that would be of interest for those users you're supporting or using eye gaze for the first time. So this is one of our own apps, a games-based app called Shh. So you can see there are two objects on the screen. There's the door on the left and the old man in the bed. So I've selected the eye tracking to click every 1.25 seconds. So that's done in the iOS settings. You see as it's clicked on the door, it's opened it, the juggler appears. If I select the old man in the bed, and it tells them to be quiet. So you can see something like this would be engaging for early eye gaze users, early years, because the sound, animation, different characters appearing. But something like this, although it's not designed for eye gaze access, works really well because the objects are large. They're on either side of the screen, so good for early targeting skills, that one. Next, we're going to look at the communication app, Touch Chat. So you can see on Touch Chat, each cell takes up a quarter of the screen, so it makes it quite easy to select. So just going into the social category there, clicking hello, how are you, or I feel. So you can see something like that using this eye gaze.
Happy.
It's fairly simple.
I want to drink juice.
Okay, so that was Touch Chat. So these are all apps that are just generally available in the App Store. These aren't our own apps. So the next one is a bit more advanced communication. This is Prolo Quote Go. So you can see there's more choice on the screen, smaller cell size, but again, specifically using the snap to item control here, you can see this works quite well. Makes it quite easy for me to highlight and select the cells that I want on the screen.
Pizza.
Okay, so there you go. You can easily create a sentence with Eyetuitive on Prolo Quo. Next couple of apps I wanted to show you were things that customers have suggested in the past. So I had a customer that wanted to create music on an iPad through iGaze. So they were using ThumbJam to do that. And we're finding that just by using iGaze, it was like a single point of touch, selecting single notes. But if you go into the assistive touch menu and click hold and drag, you can see you can then drag it across all the notes on there. So you get the type of control the customer wanted. So that's using the assistive touch menu provided by Apple on the iPad. That's not part of Eyetuitive itself. The same thing applies with the I had a customer asking if they could draw paint on an iPad. So this is one of our own apps, Finger Paint with Sounds. So again, if we just open the app and then select one of the colors on screen there, and then just dwell on the screen, it's the same thing. It's a single point of touch until I set it to hold and drag, choose one of the colors. You can kind of move around and start to draw paint on screen. And if I look briefly on there, as you see, it will stop. So it will stop working. Okay, so the next thing I want to show you is using Eyetuitive for environmental control. So there I've got the iClick interface. So this is designed for iPad. It connects wirelessly to the iPad via Bluetooth. You see there are two plug sockets on there. On one of the plug sockets I have the disco ball connected into plug socket number 1. So I've taken a picture of the disco ball. I've imported it into the iClick app on the iPad, and then I've associated that plug socket number 1 with the picture in the iClick app. So if I now open the iClick app, there's the disco ball picture there. So if I now begin looking at the disco ball on the screen, it will operate the disco ball. Now I've got that set to latched mode, so that will keep on running until I look at it again to actually turn it off. as so. So a lot of our schools that we support use things like this, whether it's disco balls or normal lights or food mixers, fans, electric fans. They use things like that as well, just to understand that nature of cause and effect of on-off devices. Now, there is a different type of device called the Environ, which is a bit more advanced because the Environ, you can program it. Again, it's for environmental control, but you can program it using the remote control of the device that you want to operate. So, for instance, a television, for example. Now, I can't give you a full demonstration of this, but I can certainly show you a grid that I've created in the Environment app. So I'm going to open this right now. So here's the grid. So you can see the television controls run along the top there. And there's controls for operating the on-off devices because the Environ will also work with the iClick that I just showed you. So the kettles, lights, fans, etc. And also controls will run along the bottom for operating a stereo. So skip forward, skip back, volume up, volume down, etc. Now the great thing about this is not only it's available for iPad, but you can also configure the amount of choices on screen. So certainly for an early eye gaze user, you wouldn't want 15 choices. You'd want to set that to maybe a one choice. So something like turn the television on or off, and then just progressively just increase the number of choices as they get better at using this type of technology. You can actually have up to 24 choices on screen, as you can see there. So that's quite a lot, but it just gives you an example of another thing that you can use an eye tracker on an iPad for. You're not just limited to games or web browsing or social media or communication. You can actually use it to control other things as well. Now, just to give you a bit of a better idea of these things working, I thought it would be a good idea not only to show myself giving a demonstration of the apps and the product, but also I went into one of our schools recently, Pendleview Primary School, and was able to get 3 other pupils using Eyetuitive. So I've got some videos here showing them using them. So first of all, we're going to be looking at Husna, who's aged 8. So she's going to be demonstrating Eyetuitive for us now on the video. So Husna has a wide range of complex needs. Her strongest sense is her hearing, but she's also been very expressive with her eyes and increasing her abilities to respond to sounds by visually tracking them led to the school to try an assessment using Insight. So this is what Husna's using at the moment. So Insight is one of our online services that we provide available on the helpkidslearn.com website. So Insight is an eye gaze assessment program. All the activities have been designed to be for eye gaze access. So you can see Husna's looking in the center of the screen there as those objects appear. Another thing the teacher was saying was Husna was able to notice images as they appeared in the middle of the screen, and her scores were improving each time, which as we go throughout the video, we'll certainly see that.
Really good.
Look at that.
So we've got
My goodness
85%
me.
results on Insight there. So we'll carry on.
Should we do one more and then we'll make it a little bit trickier?
Oh.
Oh, you've picked one yourself. Wow. Clever girl.
Now, for those of you interested in Insight, as I said, it's available on helpkidslearn.com, but you can register for a free 2-week free trial. So just go into Help Kids Learn and click the sign up now button for that.
Can you find it? Good
Wow.
What a superstar.
Well done. Well done.
Even better. Wow. Should we have a look?
Oh, we're really pushing it now.
You're going to
The
choose
teacher's
one?
now going to choose something
Yeah, we need to get
a
rid
bit
of
more
that.
advanced. As you can see, unfortunately, Husna just
Yeah, good idea.
hitting the assistive
Where are
touch
we
menu
looking?
there, provided by the iPad. You can't make that disappear as such, but as the teacher showed, you can move it across the other side of the screen, so maybe that won't be so much of a distraction. So in this activity, you can see the objects not only appearing in the middle, but also the sides of the screen.
A pink cloud.
So it's a bit more trickier for us now. And also above and below as well.
You
See, she knows that.
superstar! Wow!
Absolutely fantastic.
Good cough, Mrs.
Oh,
my
That is so he
goodness!
got even greater score on
Each
the
one
more trickier
progressively
activity
better
there.
than the last.
So
Wow.
final word from the teachers about Husna was we are very much at the start of Husna's eye tracking journey, but are very excited to see where she will go. And as you saw from the video, I'm sure she'll benefit greatly with Eyetuitive with that. Next case study we've got is Aliza, who's age 5.
Look around.
Now, Aliza has a diagnosis of profound multiple and severe learning difficulties. She's very new to school, is only just starting to trial an eye tracker. As you can see, Aliza is using Inside as well.
That was quick.
Oh my goodness! I think we might
Very
need to take
quickly.
you up a level.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Oh,
We should get this one.
yeah, okay. You got this soon.
Are you listening to Ian?
Yeah, don't listen to me.
Oh, where is it? Where's it gone?
Oh,
How have you done that?
pesky keyboard. Oh, there you go.
Wow.
You're gonna roll now.
Yeah,
Wow,
clever.
well done.
Again, just a few final words from the teacher about Lisa there. So Lisa actually tires easily. So using an eye tracker that is quick to set up, as well as the Insight program, is really helpful. As a result, we can track from carrying out short yet effective activities with her, really support planning and the development of targets. So that was Lisa. Final case study we've got now is Harry, who's age 8. So Harry has a diagnosis of cerebral palsy. He's been using an eye tracker for a few years now.
2.
Now Harry is showing you one of our early counting songs on Help Kids Learn. So this is 5 Little Frogs. So hopefully you can just see on the screen there where the mouse cursor is. He's actually focusing right on the frogs there. So he's really quite accurate on eye tracking. He just went up to the number there as it changed. You can see the one frog left on the screen.
On now, Harry.
So the interesting thing is, Harry also knows to move the screen on, he can go to the bottom right of the screen and hit that directional arrow, which he does with your eye gaze, which is really great. You can see.
One little speckled frog sat on a speckled log, eating the most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there are no green speckled frogs.
Okay, final example now. Harry's favourite thing to do on the eye tracker is control his environment. So he's able to do it through the iClick, which one of the things I was showing you earlier. This is an example of the eye control, which you can connect to a Fitch adapted toy. So by introducing this, Harry's engagement within lessons has increased hugely, It is giving him a great opportunity to show his fantastic sense of humour. For example, turning on the bubble machine and keeping it on until the whole room is filled
dear,
with
Harry.
bubbles. Because he's really enjoying
Too
that.
many
Wow.
bubbles.
That is amazing.
Oh, no.
But you can see the great
Wanna
thing
go for
about
more?
this is
Oh.
not only does he know how to
Oh,
turn it off,
wow.
but as you'll see
Oh
in a
my
second,
goodness.
how to turn it off,
Raining
on
bubbles.
and off.
Can you make them stop?
Yeah, how do you make the bubbles stop?
Good boy.
So there you go.
Bubbles have stopped.
Looking at the picture on the screen, you can make the bubbles stop. Okay, so those are the case studies, brief case studies there, just showing Eyetuitive in action. So onto the overview. So just to reiterate the kind of points that we've been through. So the main 3 points about the eye tracker was the AI-powered eye tracking on Eyetuitive, compatible with iPad and Windows. As I mentioned before, in terms of iPad, it does need to be the iPad Pro 12.9 inch, at least third generation on that. Windows can be Windows 10 or 11. And it's MFI approved. So as I mentioned, future proof, and also the ability to control an iPad through Snap to Item. In terms of what's included, there's a protective case, which is compatible with the rear adapter mounting systems that you gave you an example of. And also very important that you can choose between 1, 5 or 9 point calibration, because that really means it's great for those early eye gaze users. Just require 1 point calibration, of those that want a greater deal of accuracy during eye tracking, have a 9 point calibration. And then, as I showed you in the app demos, you can use it to access AAC, social media apps, environmental control, and more. So that was the overview on Eyetuitive there. So one final thing really was the Q&A. So if you do have any questions, let us know in the question box that you've got there. But I do have questions that have already been asked, which I'll just go through now whilst you're thinking of anything. So we have Pantelis has asked, will this camera be suitable for AAC? So yeah, hopefully, as I showed you in the demo, Pantelis, it certainly is. I mean, if I can't be specific on certain titles, but certainly on the ones I've tried, Touch Chat, Prolo Quo, things like that on the iPad, as you can see, because Snap to Item works, it works very well. David asks, are there plans to this work with Mac OS? No plans that I'm aware of as such. That's certainly something I'll mention to the manufacturer though about that one. Matthew asks, is Eyetuitive as good as Toby? Well, that's an interesting question, and it's probably one of those. It's just if there's a chance of trying these things, trying Eyetuitive, that's certainly something I would always recommend you doing and seeking out, be able to try it. We don't offer any trials ourselves, but that's probably a question that's it's difficult. It's very user specific. It's as good as Toby, as you saw with the demos. It certainly does as much as Toby in terms of the Snap to Item and the kind of apps that you can access with it. So hopefully the demos and the videos and the case studies that you saw there goes to answer that question a bit. I think we've got a few more questions here. Let me just have a look at these now. So let's see. So do you need a mounting bracket for the eye tracker if it was going to be attached to a grid pad? So if you're going to be attached to a grid pad, I'm not entirely sure in terms of how it would attach to a grid pad. I know grid pads are made for specific eye trackers, so we'd need to look into that and see how it would attach. I mean, as you saw on the on the demo videos, it's made the mounting plate on the back is made to attach to rear DAP mounting system. So we'd need to look into that in terms of a grid pad, or speak to Smartbox about that anyway. Next question here. The cost. Yes, sorry. That was one thing I neglected to mention. In terms of our sales, UK cost would be 2495. So that includes everything that you saw in the demo video there. So the eye tracker, the case, the mounting bracket, etc. What it doesn't include, obviously, is an iPad and a mounting system as well. So please factor those into the overall cost of the product if you're looking into purchasing this. A couple more questions is what we've got. Quick question: can I charge the iPad? Yes. Sorry. Sorry if that wasn't made clear in the video. Yes, you can. In the setup part of the video, it showed the iPad and eye tracker being connected to what's called the power block, which is located on the back of the mounting bracket. So yes, you can indeed. You can charge the iPad whilst using the eye tracker at the same time. The power charger is to do that is included with the package as well. So if you wanted to learn more about that, then certainly there's more details on our website. I think you can just see the link there for Eyetuitive on our website, the product page there. Just time for one more question. Let's have a look. So how good is the eye tracking outdoors in the sun? Would the tracking accuracy be affected? That, interestingly, is something we have very little experience in using at the moment. Maybe now we've actually got some sun here. I can certainly try that and let you know about that. And I know historically with eye trackers, there's always been a bit of a problem using it with the sun, because of the light reflection can cause havoc trying to see the user's pupils. But that's certainly something I can get back to you on after I've certainly done a few more tests with that. I think that's about it. Just notice any more questions coming in. Or maybe one more. What hardware are needed for the Windows system? Brackets, tablet holders, if you use example, Surface Pro 12.9 or similar sizes Windows tablets. Well, I mean, certainly for the Windows tablet, you would need a Surface Pro 12.9. That's what we'd recommend for that. There isn't an all-in-one product that we have at the moment for Eyetuitive in terms of putting it together on a Surface Pro. At the moment, we're still running on if you're aware of a SCAR for Windows, for a Windows-based tablet. So although this will work, Eyetuitive will work, at the moment we don't have the all-in-one bundle to be able to do that. But you could do it by getting the tablet holder for a Surface Pro 12.9, which we do, of course, stock as a separate item. But yeah, so you could do it, but it's not something we're currently running on with an all-in-one package at the moment. So I think that's about it for all the questions. So thank you for joining us for today's webinar. As I mentioned, this whole session is recorded, so you will receive a video of the recording. So, and if there's any further questions after that, please get in touch either via live chat or phone or email me. It's probably the easiest email address would be infomail@inclusive.co.uk. Thank you very much. Goodbye.